but it's gluten-free, it's organic, it's non-GMO. But I'm getting no results. And when it comes to body composition, I'm actually going backwards. Help. All right, I hear this all the time. So today's the day, great day, to check our trades that we're making when it comes to food. Because many times in our efforts to get our food lined up in a fashion that promotes a greater level of health, we inadvertently trade toxicity for some more ultra-processed blah that doesn't have a few of these particular names in it that were in the other feeds. So I want to preface this by saying I have zero judgment here. It doesn't make you a bad person because you substituted corn syrup, loaded yogurt, for vanilla yogurt with 28 grams of sugar. It makes you a person who is consciously considering what you're consuming. This is step number one when it comes to massive health accumulation. So give yourself a pat on the back and let's make sure now that we're really getting the results that we ought to be getting because we're putting effort in towards our health. So what I get to see in the clinic all the time, coaching on a daily basis, is people who are wanting to overcome autoimmunity, diabetes, cancers, coronary artery disease, excess fat accumulation. And the way we deal with these situations requires intensive and precise action. So when a person says they are eating Dave's Killer Bread, it's not that Dave's Killer Bread is bad. It is that a highly refined bread is still a highly refined bread. And it is far more wholesome than Fran's fluffy white or whole grain bread, but it's not as eco bread or my wife's fresh milled berry bread. I think about this all the time because from age, I would say about 16 when I started on my health accumulation journey to about 26, I'm still accumulating health, but this particular time frame, I was making a lot of health promoting choices that were in fact just a health fad or good marketing campaigns, whether it was soy milk, rice milk, Quiznos, Subway, chicken sandwiches instead of hamburgers, Kashi, bean cereal instead of Cocoa Pebbles, Gatorade instead of soda, Sprite instead of Coca-Cola, oat milk lattes, or vegetable protein instead of whey protein. I could go on and on with the good routines, the good habits I was trying to form because of the books, magazines I was reading, convinced me to go down this route. However, you may have heard of, buckwheat pancakes. So many times I got buckwheat pancakes at IHOP or First Watch. There's another one, I can't remember the name of the restaurant, and I was thinking, I'm getting some nutritionally dense food here. I'm trying to make these new changes and compare to standard pancakes, but I'm an undergrad student, thinking I've got it going on. Lo and behold, find out when I make my own buckwheat pancakes that they do not resemble any way, shape, or form, or taste, or feel like those restaurant pancakes that said they were buckwheat. It was all marketing. So, sweet potato fries. This is probably within the last 7 or 8 years, thinking that I'm ordering sweet potato fries at this restaurant. I'm actually doing myself a good service. It's a healthy alternative to standard French fries. See, we're all susceptible. Now, chopping up sweet potato fries and putting them in my oven to make them, baking them, I'm all about that because that is true whole food entering my system. So probably the biggest culprit of all, though, that's leading us to missed health gains comes in the form of the gluten-free eating. We feel terrible when we eat wheat products. So we switch to gluten-free flours and hit up every gluten-free bakery. But we can't figure out what in the world's going on here. I just gained 7 pounds or I feel so sluggish, like a brain fog. I would consider if a person went from eating Ezekiel bread to consuming rice and cassava and tapioca flours, they may not have the tummy pain anymore, but they're going to be setting their blood sugar and insulin surging, skyrocketing. Not to mention, these gluten-free starches are essentially devoid of all manner of fiber, vitamin, mineral, polyphenols. If the wheat berries are a challenge for your body, you will be best served spiralizing up the zucchini or cutting those thin slices of zucchini to make lasagna noodles or just getting really creative with your baked goods. And then, of course, there's the just don't make it a habit. baked goods, that is, but an actual special occasion when it comes to dessert consumption. Also, just this past weekend, my niece, she made a quinoa sweet potato chocolate cake. Tasted everything like chocolate cake. Tastes delicious. But it was all real whole food ingredients put into it, making the cake. The other one is those Siete tortillas or Siete tortilla chips. They're promoted as healthy, right? But this doesn't mean they actually create in us health. Everything about them is starch component, right? Press it, heat it, sit at our desk, and eat it. We can fully expect that our area around our midsection, our hips, our belly, it's going to grow, it's going to expand. Before you call me out, though, on these Siete chips as being orthorexic, because I'm even putting the kibosh on these guys, I would just say, like last week, I bought 3 bags of them at Costco, big bags, they're on sale for a get together. It's not that we can never consume these. They are indeed a far better option than the corn tortilla chips, if chips happen to be on the menu. But if a patient was like, I want to transform my health existence, I want to transform my body composition, I want to get rid of this IBS, I would say, yeah, forget the Siete chips. Let's eat real food. Because they're not going to help support us getting to the end goal. The most fantastic place for us to live is under the real food umbrella when it comes to food consumption. When we trade, we want to trade up. We want to be creating greater and greater opportunity for our health to manifest fully. And it means, the package, the process, the loads of ingredients, even if they say organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, fat-free, sugar-free, all these words, they're pretty much just marketing. And yes, if there's something that said organic and something that said non-organic, I'd probably get the organic because I don't want the pesticide and all that residue on it. But in the end, we're choosing real whole food. That means meat, eggs, fruit, vegetables, beans, nuts, seeds, dairy, literally whole actual grains. Whole grain on a package does not mean anything. What does mean something is you're getting the whole wheat berry and processing it yourself, and that entire thing going into whatever food you're creating. Or if somebody else will do that for you, fantastic. It's like eating a whole oat versus these quick oats that are pre-made and cause your blood sugar to spike, and you might as well just eat cereal. I'm Dr. Matt. If this is helpful, send it along to somebody that's like going down that alley. This is, I want to get really healthy. I want to get really vital. I want to find this new way of living, but maybe missing out because, they're still eating a bag of Siete chips with salsa every night. Sure, it was corn tortilla chips before. They've upscaled, but they probably aren't actually going to get much life benefit that they're going to notice just by that movement. All right, Dr. Matt here. Talk to you guys else.